Okay, so that'll do it for lesson 2. Kind of working on some ball flights, and I think we kind of work towards a better draw, there at the end.
Yep.
And kind of get a little bit more of an understanding on hitting different ball flights. And I know, like, once we get outside, we'll be able to. It's easier to hit like a swinging draw, and a big pull hook. It's kind of hard in the garage here, but
sure,
we'll kind of work on that. So, I mean, what are your takeaways from lesson 2 here?
Well, I could tell when you had me move my foot back.
Yeah.
I was starting to get that consistency that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the draw is an inside out swing, more or less. And when I was lined up more, because I think we started and I was overstepping on my foot.
I think, yeah, you just a little bit.
But when we moved it back slightly, I could feel it in the swing like it was a draw swing, like we kind of talked about.
Awesome.
And I started developing that consistency.
Yeah.
When my foot was straight, we kind of talked about, I was hitting it to the left,
Yep.
but it was more of a pull than a draw.
Yeah. It was something that, started on line for you and pulled to the left instead of, having that nice draw ball flight. So
and I feel really comfortable where my foot is here.
Okay, like having it back a little bit.
Yeah,
awesome.
That actually naturally just feels better too.
Yeah.
So I could see how it's easier to hit a fade with your foot up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted a consistent ball flight.
Yeah.
So
and
that felt great.
Yeah. So I will say, I thought coupling the foot, I think the foot line was a great thing for you too, because it helps with the movement and everything. But I thought coupling that with your shoulder line would have made a great adjustment. But I think that was something that was just a little, that didn't really work out too much for us. I thought something that would have been a great change. But I think that's something you do really well in your swing, is you may start with your shoulder lines open, but your first kind of movement is to close it and correct it. So I think that's something that was kind of a change that really didn't need to be made. And I think the foot line is kind of something better.
Yeah, the foot line felt natural.
Felt more natural.
But when you had me close my shoulder and standing over the ball, it just
felt like a different swing.
Right. And I'm not that flexible of a guy. So I think, like you said, we kind of looked at some of the videos and that's kind of my first movement, is to get it set up to where you want to. But I just couldn't feel comfortable squaring it up,
like starting that way. I know, I get what you're saying, because I did see that in your swing, is your first movement is to correct them. So I think you got it right on the right path there. So that's awesome. But as far as wrapping up this lesson for your going into, we'll just have you hit. It's kind of just going to be the same. I'll actually have you play par 3 courses on the simulator as a practice aid. But for every shot that does not draw, I need you to do a mulligan. So only taking the shots that either they stay on target or they work right to left.
Okay.
So and only playing 9 holes, 6 holes, whatever you can do. But just something where you're only taking the shots that move right to left.
Yeah.
So that'll do it for that. And then in lesson 3, we'll kind of get into the short game lesson and get into that. So
all right. Sounds good.